Hello and welcome to this module on scheduling and task states. After completion of this module, learners will be able to explain the concept of scheduling, identify the task states in real-time operating system, sketch the state transition diagram for task, explain the transition of task from one state to another. Let us first start with scheduling. It is a concept in real-time operating system which selects the task for execution at a given point of time. In real-time operating system, task is the basic building block of software. It is simply a subroutine or a small program. So each task to be executed needs some CPU time for execution. Now, which task will get executed at a given point of time is decided using scheduling mechanism. The scheduling occurs using various scheduling algorithms. These algorithms are developed using scheduling policies. Scheduling policies formulates the guidelines to determine which task is to be executed when. The RTOS kernel service, which implements scheduling algorithm, is known as a scheduler. Let us understand preemptive scheduling. In this type of scheduling, scheduler can preempt the currently executing task and select another task. In priority-based preemption, higher priority task is immediately scheduled by preempting lower priority task. It means priority of the task are taken into consideration in priority-based preemptive model. Lower priority task is suspended there itself and CPU control is given to the higher priority task. Let's understand this using this animation. On x-axis there is a time duration, on y-axis task priority. Let's consider task 1 having some priority level. Task 2 is having lower priority than task 1. So when the task 2 is running, task 3 comes, which is a higher priority task. So as per the priority based preemption, as the task T3 is a higher priority task, the lower priority task T2 will get preempted there itself and T3 task will get executed. After completion of task T3, that is the higher priority task, again the lower priority task T2 will continue and thus follows the next task. So here we have seen the preemptive concept. The task T2, which is a lower priority task, get preempted by higher priority task. Let's see task states. Task in RTOS having 3 states. At any time, system task or application can have one of the 3 states: ready, running, and block state. As the real-time embedded system starts functioning, each task moves from one state to another state. Let's see each states individually. In the running state, the task which is having highest priority is executing. In the ready state, task is ready to run but cannot because highest priority task is already executing. And in the block state, the task which has requested a resource that is not available or requested to wait until some event happens or delayed itself for some duration, that will wait in the block state. Now, let us reflect and think on this question. What will be the transition flow of task states for priority-based preemptive scheduling algorithm? Take a pause, think, and sketch a flow to show transition from one state to another. When you are finished writing your answer, then you can play the video. Following the question, let's see how transition occurs using priority-based preemptive scheduling algorithm. First, we'll start with ready state. When the task is created, kernel puts it into the ready state. In this state, the task actively competes with all other ready tasks for the CPU execution time. Several tasks might be in the ready state. The kernel scheduler uses the priority of each task to determine which task to be moved to the running state. As shown in figure, for a kernel that supports only one task per priority level, scheduler pick up highest priority task to run next. If the running task no longer has the highest priority, then it will again go back to the ready state. Now let's see about running state. We have already seen that a task moves from ready state to running state if it is having highest priority. If not, then it will again go back to the ready state. If the running task is having some call or some resources need, then it will move to the block state. A running task can switch to the block state in any of the following situation: by making system call that request a resource. If the running task needs some resource, but that resource is using by some another task and that resource is the shared one, then the running task need to wait for that resource. So whenever there is a waiting period, the running task will get moved to the block state. If the system provides delay of some specified duration, then also the running task will get moved to the block state. If a task needs some input or output event to happen, then again it will move to the block state. So in these three conditions, the running task will get moved to the block state. Now let's see about the block state. It is extremely important in real-time system because without block state, lower priority task will never run. If the higher priority tasks are not blocked, then lower priority tasks don't get CPU time for execution. A task can only move to the block state by making a blocking call, requesting for some unavailable resources, and waiting for some event to happen or delays itself for some duration that we have seen here. A block task remains in block state until block condition is met. It means till it will not get some input or output event or some that shared resource or that delay cannot end. Till that time it need to be there in block state. When a task unblock after blocking condition met, it means the input or output event occurs that already completed or that shared resource acquired. Then the task might move from block state to ready state if it is not the highest priority task. However, if the block task is the highest priority task, the task directly switch to the running state. Thus, this is the complete flow when each task moves from one state to another. First, whenever new task is initializing, it will go into the ready state, having highest priority, then go to the running state. If no longer highest priority, again get back to the ready state. If waiting for some event or for some shared resource or for a time delay, it will go into the block state. After the waiting condition ends, it will again go to the ready state. So this is the state transition diagram in which we are showing complete flow of each task from one state to another. This is just to summarize what we have learned in this module: scheduling, task states, priority based preemptive scheduling, criteria for transition from one state to other. Thank you.